Hello everyone. Happy full moon in Aquarius. I'm just going to be multitasking because that's just how I am. How's everyone doing out there? Click like, it really helps my channel. When this channel was new, it got a lot of views, and you know, life ups and downs, and for everyone that has stuck with me, thank you. Let's see, recap. I believe it was January, the beginning of January, my mom passed. And then in April, I had a bad move. And so I'm still in the relocating process, if you will. One day I'll explain that, and I'm sure it'll be very helpful to someone out there too. So it's a full moon in Aquarius, and it's happening on the 22nd of August, 2021. And what everyone is vibing on is this love, romance, and commitment, and it's based on the placement of where Virgo is. And when there's commitment, there's communication. So we're going to talk about where Mercury is, and I have my notes here because it's a lot of stuff to remember. Okay, so I also have a message from Uranus because it's in retrograde, and when it's in retrograde, we'll get to that, but the message says, get real and change what's not working. I feel like I've been doing that for months, even for years. I've always been evaluating, but in the last couple months, yes, especially from last fall, it's like, whoa. Okay, so Uranus in retrograde is saying, get real and change what's not working, and also face your fear. And that could be face your fears, it could be multiple, but face one. Okay, the lighting is crazy right now, but it's all good. I have my dragon. I have a dragon light here. It's pretty cool. So it's giving off all this blue and red light. I love it. All right, focus. So be the best. It's like be the best you can, but I feel like saying be the best you, be the best for you. Okay, so I feel like we can only be the best for ourselves, right? I'm shuffling my playing cards right here. Let's see if I can get a good photo. If YouTube would be nice, and you know, if I pose nice for a photo, it will make it one of my I'm losing my words, but basically, you know the word I'm seeking, but hopefully it will give me a good photo. You know, if I can just freeze for a minute. Will they capture it? They always give you bad photos on here. So if I just freeze, I don't know, will they? I'll find something wrong, like my hair sticking out. That's my Virgo placement. It's a perfection, you know? We care, so we want it. And Geminis are like that too. We care, so we want everything to be okay. And that's from a caring space and having a strong Virgo placement. So all the Virgos watching this, you already know. So I'm going to pose. There, I'm still going to try and fix this. Whatever. So anyway, it's Aquarius. Aquarius is in an air sign, and it's depicted as a water bear, okay? And we're vibing with this, even though I really do focus strongly on the 13 moons, because it gives us more balance. It really does. I know a lot of people are fighting it and want to stick with the 12, but if you think about it, in all this, if you think about it, 12, you have an even staff, and you're the 13th. You're the head of it, right? So you can catch my vibe. Think of any kind of story, but that one is the 13, if you will, and then you have 12, and that's an even group of people who is your staff, if you will. I don't know, you know, it's an uneven number, but it works. It works. I don't know, I feel like it does. I'm looking at the whole turtle for tapping into some of my native side, right? And looking at that as well. Anyway, so this full moon is like completion, right? So what were we hoping to complete from the last new moon in Aquarius? And this positive moment right now, because we just went through this whole Lion's Gate, and I had to refresh myself on all of that and its meaning, right? And that was quite interesting. So this whole Lion's Gate, we had that, but then also from my notes, let me check it out, we had an Aquarius moon already, July 23rd, we had a full moon in Aquarius. Then in the middle of that, we had the Lionsgate on the 8th of August, new moon in Leo season. And now we have another full moon in Aquarius. And just being sandwiched in between this Aquarius energy, we should be really looking at things that's not working. And the Aquarius mind is very much futuristic. So, groove with me. Let me talk about Aquarius for a little bit, because I really like this, because we have Aquarius being ruled by Uranus and Saturn, and their house is the 11th house, right? And see how the 11th house works for you. If you're watching this, you have to look at your chart, because you can't just be spoon-fed everything. Like, something's going to click that I said. Aquarius is a fixed sign, so when they make up their mind, they make up their mind. They're all about networking and communicating with others. They have a personality of not wanting to be controlled, and that's what air signs are like. They don't want to be controlled. They are spontaneous, like all air signs, original. I'm telling you, everyone can be doing the same thing, and there's nothing new under the sun. But one thing I am is original. And even if it's something that is not really, it's something that everyone does, that's cool. But air signs really want to do their thing their way, right? And that makes it special, and everyone has that ability. And we have to think about being logical, how we think, our minds, right? And being confident, especially in Leo season. We all have a Leo placement. I looked up my Leo placement, and I've been working it, right? It's a rough time right now for me, but I'm still working it. And I haven't been able to commit to my 12 zodiac signs tarot reading, because it's a lot. So, I noticed that people have to shift up what doesn't work anymore. But if you're a writer, then you're here all the way, right? So think of this Aquarius full moon. What are you over friendly with, and how can you balance that out? So I like to look at all the traits of Aquarius, which is being friendly, intelligence, being spontaneous, being rebellious. Hopefully we're still allowed to say that word, right? And being detached at times. So how can these, and being innovative is another word, and it's kind of falls in line with all air signs of being creative. So looking at all these trait words and see, where do you need to pull back? I like that, detach, right? And how are you giving too much of yourself, and how do you need to pull back and balance it? So for me, doing this is very healing. Looking into astrology, it gives me time to think, and it's like that self-care work, and it's self-work, really. So the people everyone can benefit from this full moon in Aquarius. However, very strongly, Aries, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius can strongly benefit from this full moon. We all can, okay? So that's one of the things I wanted to touch on. Now, I don't want to go all over the place. I want to keep it here. Now, for Pacific Standard Time, I believe on the East Coast, this is going to be 8:01 a.m. For Pacific Time, it's going to be 5:01 a.m. is going to be the high peak of the moon. That means that it's the strongest energy of the moon, and you want to tap into that with meditation. Now, it's 29 degrees, 36 minutes, okay? So 29 brings it to 11, okay? And I was looking up 11 earlier. I guess that was the reason. So 11, and I put my notes in different spots. Now 11, it's a strong number. It's also a master number, meaning that it brings about a powerful, strong message, and you're going to tap into, okay, how can I be a master of myself right now? Even though we're continuously learning, and we're never fully, like, say, a master, of everything. Let's put it that way. So it's asking you to look at your foundation, because I like to think of it as pillars, right? And 11 becomes 2, which is a teamwork and partnership, and it goes into the Venus as well. But when you're looking into this 11, you're thinking of it bringing a positive, strong mind. So you're going to have your mind focus, or another key word we're used to for the last 6 years is mindset. and working on a strong intuition. So this 29 degrees, we can think of it that way. And there's other, I'm sure there's other meanings to the 29 degrees, right? And bringing that to 11, okay? Now, that's a powerful message. Now the strength of this full moon is going to last 36 minutes. So 36 minutes you can do some kind of meditation. Whichever tradition calls to you, you can do that meditation. All right. So I'm nervous to see if I'm recording. Whenever someone makes a video, we're always nervous that I'm like, this is going so well. Am I recording? Okay. So, like I said, look at the placements. Well, I didn't say this, but Uranus and Saturn. Look where these placements are for this new moon, and see how this might affect you. Okay. And if it lines up with your birth chart, then that's great. All right. Uranus is 14 degrees 47 minutes in the 10th house of careers. Okay, and Uranus is retrograde. Saturn is in Aquarius, 8 degrees 43 minutes in the 6th house, retrograde. All right, so looking up at what the 6th house mean, that's what maybe something that is powerful to you. If Uranus is placed strong, if Saturn is placed strongly in your chart, then what does the 6th house represents? If Uranus is strongly in your chart, or it's ruled by your planet, what does the 10th house represent? And I know off the top of my head, 10th house is all about career. Okay, so that's a strong placement. Now Venus is 7 degrees 26 minutes in the 3rd house. Okay, and that is very powerful right now. Okay, now Venus trines Saturn and Venus trines the node. Okay, so Venus is all about love, harmony, and the pleasures that we want. So how are we communicating our love lives? All of our relationships, everyone, our acquaintances, our peers, our social group. There's going to be a communication that's going to happen, and the best way to do it is not with greed or anything negatively, because Venus is in the 3rd house, and when something is in the 3rd house, people are going to realize if there's any kind of negative slip-ups, if you're not being honest, if it's not a balanced communication. Okay, so I'm gonna have to close my windows. Give me a second. Okay, so where was I? I had to close the blinds. I had the blinds closed. So Mercury is 18 degrees 19 minutes in the 2nd house of Taurus. Okay, and we have Saturn retrograding in Taurus. So having Mercury in the 2nd house, okay, and Virgo is also in the 2nd house. Mercury is in Virgo, and for all the Virgos, we're on the 22nd of August starts Virgo season. Okay, so Mercury conjuncts Mars, Mercury trines Uranus, Mercury opposed Neptune, and Mercury trines Pluto. So you can look those up and see, if that's something in your birth chart, or if you're Virgo and you really want to connect to that's something to definitely look up. The luck and all that money energy, powerful, is in Aquarius, 15 degrees 50 minutes in the 7th house. Okay, so if there's any issues, and I'm gonna do this, let me do this. Okay, so for the 7th house, okay, if you want to look at finances, because this has to do with money, pleasures, okay, the house of marriage, okay, that's what the 7th house is all about commitments and contractual partnering. Okay, marriage, commitment, contractual partnering is the 7th house, along with other attributes that is associated with the 7th house. But having this placement, look and see, okay, what do I need to work on here with as far as money? Okay, family. So it has to do with your love relationship. So this is a great new moon to foster in and really focus on your relationship, and when it comes to money, any issues around that, and how you can make it stronger. and that's going to be a private thing to work on because it's in the descending part of the chart. So this is not something that you can work in the public. Now Leo is in the ascending here and still has a sun in Leo, so all the Leos, the attention is on you. So whenever it's in the ascending, make good choices and take the spotlight to make things good, not in a negative way. Okay, so those are some of the key points. Now for anyone that does Reiki or energy work, or just care about your body, your calf, your ankles, your shins, your forearm, thyroid hormone, and Achilles heel. You want to be your forearm muscle, right? So you want to be gentle with this part of your body at this full moon. So don't overdo anything, especially if it's a great day outside where you are. You just don't want to overdo anything. The strongest element for this full moon is going to be earth and air. So if you're working with elemental magic or elemental energy, earth and air is at 4 and the fixed sign energy is at 5. So it's going to be the strongest that it is, you know. That's from one chart I got. Now from this chart, that's interesting. I'm going to go with this chart. Okay, so let's see. Earth is 8 on this chart and air is 10. Fire is 8. So still, air and earth are the strongest element, and I'm happy that fire is also a strong element too. Water is at 1. So fire, air, and earth is great elements to work with. Both earth and fire is at 8. Sorry, both fire and earth is at 8, and air is at 10. Okay, so those elements if you want to work with them. All right, so now if you want to focus in on, say, your career, right, or money, look at working with Uranus, and I'm going to get to that. The North Node is in Gemini, so tap into that Gemini energy because Gemini has the North Node for a while now. And Lilith is in the 10th house as well. Okay, so that's a very strong, determined energy. Now, I want to go over what Uranus' message is for this full moon. Now, the earth sign of Taurus cares about their home, and we're talking about love, commitment, our relationship with our partner, right? Romance for this moon. So Uranus is asking us to look at our life when it's in retrograde. It's kind of like slowing down, right? Look at our lives and say, okay, I got to face my fears, but what if something is too overbearing for you to do right now? You're going to have to take that power and say, hey, I know I signed up for this, but I can't fulfill this because X, Y, and Z. And that's really caring about yourself instead of trying to be and do something because it will look good or care about what someone else thinks. You have to do what works for you. And Uranus is like, there's no peer pressure from anyone, even if they want good for you. You have to do what's best for you and what your body, your mind, and your spirit can handle. So working towards slowing down and looking at it and say, what will work for me? What fear do I need to overcome? And then moving forward through that, right? So that's the powerful message. Another powerful message from this Uranus retrograde, even building up to this point, okay? If you've been feeling like, you know, a lot of changes that's happening, you're not expecting them to happen. Unexpected changes, right? Coming to realization of something that is probably hard to digest, but you have to kind of look at it for what's best for you. This is leading up to this Uranus retrograde where you really have to be awakened within yourself and be able to handle sudden changes and to be able to really look at things and accept it for what it is. Don't try to flip it. You know, you will get to that point where things will slowly change, and I feel like this is something that will slowly change. If you try to make things better so fast, and if it happens fast, fine. If for everyone the story is different, but be in the moment and work the progression of it as honestly as you can Okay, don't fake being anything. Just be, right? So any kind of unexpected changes when it comes to work, love, and anything that you value, right? And look at where you've made your own mistakes, but you were trying to be too optimistic, but you should have done certain things, right? And then see where other responsibilities were that wasn't on you, right? And let it go and realize it. And then allow yourself to move forward, because this full moon is all about pulling in the energy. And this is big time key, is pulling in the energy, because the moon gives energy and you can receive that energy, that frequency, to open up your mind, to let go of any limiting beliefs that you have. Because even though we're all strong, we all go through down times and up times, we have to really let go of our limiting beliefs. And I'm not sure if I said it at the beginning, and I usually don't like sharing things, but you know, it's on Saturday, just Saturday, and today is Monday night. I'm filming this. So just Saturday, right after finished working, I found out that someone very young passed away. And it was just very sad, very heartbreaking, right? And I'm like, you know, a lot of sad things have been happening since the end of 2019, 2020, and 2021, but there's also happy times too. So we still have to carry on. We have to take the time that we need to heal, and then to you know, carry on, right? So I really wanted to do, because that day was Scorpio moon, Leo sun, and I even wrote out this video I wanted to talk about the energy of it and Santa Muerte, and just like something very healing, but I just couldn't even do it. You know, I was busy anyway, but also, you know, maybe I'll make a video on that, talking about that past Saturday. I don't, you know, even though it passed, I think I will reframe the video to have a message about Scorpio moon, because I have a strong Scorpio placement too, so I can, you know, I have a sixth sense, or, you know, just know, very intuitive, all the water signs, but we just know when something is happening, you know. And yeah, so, or we receive the message from someone else who is very intuitive, and that was my case a few days before Saturday. But I'll save that for another video. But this full moon in Aquarius is really the future thinker. And I just thought of it now. I had to do jury duty on Wednesday and Thursday that just passed. And I tried to call, and I did call, and I, you know, this is the first time I've ever gone that far where I had to show up at the court. And I was sitting next to a lady that was that's Aquarius, so that just clicked. And I will, you know, everyone I meet, I talk astrology, and the Aquarius mind can see that something isn't right and it's not working, and they're like, why are we still doing this? Why are we stuck on something that's not good? It's not healing. It's not beneficial to anyone. Why are we still doing it this way when there's a better way? So we'll notice a better way that is not ego driven or greed driven, right? But it's just the right way. I'm going to turn the dragon to face south. Yeah, you're facing south now. So, you know, it's just realizing things, you know. I don't know if I said this before, but the sun is in the first house, and the sun is a ruler of Leo. So that's going to be powerful. And the first house is Aries house, so another fire. And the moon is in the 7th house, so we did mention that. So we want to know that this moon also aligns with Jupiter. And you're going to also, you can also focus on your personal goals and your happiness, your material life, right? So that rings true to me. And spiritual growth, I'm always thinking about that. And being optimistic about yourself and the situation you're in. Even if you're in a rough time right now, it's really important to fill yourself with love. And I'm telling you, I've been vibing on rose quartz, but I packed away a lot of my stuff, so I don't have rose quartz. So I went to the crystal store, maybe it was Sunday. No, it was Saturday. Saturday morning I did. And they didn't have any rose quartz that I wanted. What they had, I didn't want that one, and I don't want to get something just because. So I just visualize rose quartz and I work with it on that level, you know, through meditation and visualization. And if you don't have a particular stone or herb, you can do that. You can tap into that. Okay, so this Jupiter energy is getting things quickly, is things manifesting fast, and we like to think of it as not working as a long time as Saturn would, but a faster time and still receiving it. So we really want to tap into our Jupiter, and especially if you have a weak Jupiter placement, this one you wanna work with this one. Okay, you want to work with this Jupiter placement. I'm gonna find Jupiter. Jupiter is in Aquarius, 26 degrees, 54 minutes. That's a long time. That's almost an hour in the 7th house of relationships. Okay, even though Jupiter is retrograding, you want to look at, where are my finances? Where's my luck? Where's my negative self-thought? Right? Because Jupiter is that pointer finger. So you can do a mudra and a meditation just like this. Right? There's a Kundalini yoga meditation for that, and boost your confidence, because we're in Leo season right now when this video uploads tonight, and we're going into Virgo season, and they're confident too as an earth sign. Okay, so we want to look at this powerful alignment of Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter opposed the sun at 2 degrees 42 minutes. Okay, and Jupiter also conjuncts the moon at 2 degrees 42 minutes. Okay, so that's a powerful placement. So this conjunction, why this theme of love, romance, and commitment, I'm like, why is it coming up again? But I guess the earth, we need love, we need romance and commitment, you know, self-love too. You can tap, I wanted to say that, you know, it could be on your relationship, but it also can be your own self-love, and that's just gonna make you shine, and it's just going to be great because there's, you know, it's love. So love is love, right? So this conjunction, the conjunction is about working together, and this Venus placement in Libra is all about balance. So on the good aspects of Libra, we're not going to talk about the negative. The good aspects of Libra is balancing that out, right? And working together, and this is going to intensify each other, so it's strengthening both. Okay, and it's like a positive planet alignment, and it brings about harmony. Okay, so that's going to be great. Okay, so your Jupiter again is your personal success. You're going to reevaluate that, because Uranus is asking you to reevaluate as well, because you're both retrograde here, and look at your happiness, your material life. Really not, it's not really purchasing things to make you happy. It's really coming from inside and building up your inner chakras, and your aura has to be strong to block things, right? Your spiritual growth, your optimistic mind. So making sure that you're thinking positively, and your good fortune, right? And just your overall situation, filling yourself, your life with positivity. And that leads into the romance, the relationship, the commitment, sex, love, and so on. Okay, now the moon and Jupiter, right, both of their energies for this full moon is all about success, happiness, and I'm trying to read my own handwriting, and good fortune. Okay, now it's going to balance our emotions, this moon and Jupiter. So let me look at that again. I'm going to click on the moon. So the moon is going to conjunct Jupiter, 2 degrees 42 minutes. So this is going to be a great time to work on your emotions, on your self-confidence. You can use that alignment for that. Okay, it's going to balance out your emotion to become more positive in your mind. Now with the moon opposing the sun, there's 0 degrees 0 minutes right there, so we don't have to, you know, worry about that completion right there. Okay, now the moon squaring the nodes, 6 degrees 53 minutes, we just you know, the squaring up is not a positive aspect, okay? But there's other more powerful aspects that we can focus on. Just ignore any kind of arguments or fighting, and focus your energy on your healing. And I've noticed that yesterday and the day before that, it was just like, I'm just gonna not, the power in me that wants to fix things and make it better, I'm just gonna let it go, because I have, you know, you can only, it's best to just focus on helping yourself, right? So the sun opposing Jupiter is basically, don't be too optimistic as well. That was one of the messages from my research, is don't be too optimistic, full of negative ego, and just be mindful of not, just watch your spending. That was one of the things too, and it came up in the card reading video that I did too, in the general message when I used the fortune telling cards. Okay, and with this Jupiter, sun opposing Jupiter, enjoy all of the good success that you're finding leading up to this full moon in Aquarius and during the full moon in Aquarius. Okay, and tap into self-control. Okay, you can tap into self-control by focusing on Mars conjunct Mercury 3 degrees 22 minutes, because the Mercury is ruler of Gemini and Virgo, and the 22nd is starting Virgo. So you're thinking about your, how you communicate, your intelligence, your wit, your smarts, right? So combined with Mars is defending yourself. It's that courage energy, that assertiveness. Okay, it's energy in Mars. So you're really protecting your energy, and Mars is in Virgo, right, in the second house of home and your financial gain. So all of it is coming around. It's I love how these houses sometimes complement each other. So Mars is gonna, you can do protection work for your home to block negative energy and jealousy. And Virgo is a mother, and you don't mess with a mother because she'll jack you up. So it's a beautiful energy. And Mars trining the MC as well is going to be powerful, and trining Uranus as well. Okay, so there's a lot of powerful, just protective energy to tap into Mars. Okay, and your MC is your career. All right, and Uranus is you not allowing someone to lower your self-esteem or your emotion or judging you. You can tell them in your own way that works for your personality, hey, I don't like that, this is what I need to do. And that, for me, it's like, I know what's best, and if I'm a leader in it, right, even my numerology is leadership, then nothing fails, you know. So we can all, Uranus is asking us to review what we didn't do and then let it go. Don't hold on to it. Okay, so I wrote this down for you guys, and this is it to look up. Venus trines Saturn and Mars trine Uranus. So look those up and see what it means for your life right now, and also even if you have it in your chart. Okay, there's some more stuff, and I don't want it to be too long, but I did write down that the North Node is in Gemini in the 10th house of career. Hold that positive thought. That was a message that came through. We're still in Leo season, so just don't, you know, I don't care what other people think. Peace to them, and peace to myself, really, peace, and then peace out. Bye. So have that attitude, because you can't control what anyone else is thinking, because they're not walking in your shoes. They're not walking in your life right now, you know, they're not handling it. So let me pull a card for this full moon. Full moon energy, tapping into all the energies that I work with, the Aquarius energy, right? Just tapping into that energy. And my guides, my guards, Archangel Michael. The Orishas, all that is positive. New beginning, new relationship, marriage, good news for self, home, and others. I love that it says for others on here, because I am always wishing others well. So we have the Ace of Hearts, okay? So let me look into this, because everything that I have is pretty much packed away, but I like to give you guys a lot of information here, okay? So the ace is a feminine, or the heart, sorry. The heart direction is west, and it's a feminine energy. It vibrates on the element of water, and Aquarius is the water bearer, so they have strong emotions, but they're an air sign. And it resonates with summer. Hey, we're in summer. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay, and the color is red. The emotion is having love and working and emotions and empathy. All right, and it's represented by the cups in the tarot. So that's some extra information, but hey, the message is new beginnings, new relationship, marriage, good news for self, home, and others. So really work on protecting what is important to you with this Taurus energy. Taurus don't like people messing with their home and family, and sometimes people can give you the evil eye, jealousy, whether they know it or not. So always protect your energy. Always say your affirmations to yourself. And even people who don't consider themselves spiritual, but they consider themselves go-getters, whatever, they say their mantras. They get themselves pumped up either by lifting weights. Everyone has their own way of doing things, right? And they don't consider it necessarily spiritual. They consider it just their warrior mode to survive life in this world, right? So even if you're spiritual, or you are just trying to live your best life in a different way, we all have our mantras. We all have that vibe about us, how we do it in a different way. Let me pull a tarot, okay, for this full moon. I'll pull one more. I try to be gentle with my cards. Hey, I'm not going to read that one. I don't want it. That's 3 popped out. And it was the 10 of Swords. So just be mindful of, you know, jealousy and people that are backstabbers, you know, and don't start ish. Mind your business. Drink your water. All that stuff. Drink your tea. Mind your business. Add your milk to your tea. No sugar. Right? Okay, so tapping into this full moon energy, what card message can everyone benefit from with this Uranus retrograde and everything? Okay, Judgment. Okay, so we have the Judgment card. Okay, and the Judgment card, the first thing that comes up for me is judging myself, judging others, just judgments that people will put on us. Okay, and I feel like this is also like a Uranus energy, where it talks about resurrection, or just like a transformation and an awakening that we have, and life changes. It does go into life changes, and whatever needs to end to start a new beginning. And I put away the other card, but it taps into that. Let's see what else it's about. Reincarnation. It's the same thing. It's like a transformation. Very Pluto, very Uranus as well. Okay. Oh yeah, it does go with Pluto. Okay, I wasn't Pluto. Okay, so it does go with Pluto, and the card after that is the World card. So if that means something to you, all right. So this card is just letting you know that it's time to reawaken your mind and really think about things, and that's what the retrograde allows us to do. All right, something that needs to just end. Boom. I like that they also mentioned this one is associated, this card is associated with Gabrielle. Okay, he's blowing the trumpet. All right, so it's kind of like, and I love the sound of trumpets. I love the sound of horns, right? So it's really cleansing the air and breaking down walls, right? And it really charges up the air, and it's an air sign, and it just gets rid of what we don't need. And the element is also fire, so that's a strong element for this. Okay, so yeah. And in reverse, it talks about self-doubt and feeling stagnant. Really fight against negativity. Really keep up your fiery protective walls, because sometimes people will think that you have more than they do, and you really don't. You're just trying to live your life just like they are. So this Aquarius moon is, they will just skip out on you. They won't stick around with you if they feel that you have a bad vibe. They're just not going to stick around with that, right? So you won't even hear from them. It's like the ultimate ghosting someone. Like, you won't hear from them. So just enjoy the moon, pull down on that energy. I gave you guys a lot of information. I even gave myself a lot of information doing this research and really looking at it. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Let me find my way out of here. So yeah, Uranus retrograde, think about it, get real. Don't hold on to whatever you discover about yourself. Let that ish go once you've addressed it in your mind, okay? And you can write things down on a paper that you don't like and burn it under the full moon, right? So, get real with yourself. Change what's not working. Face your fear or your fears, and know that you are your best right now. So be the best for you. All right, guys. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. Please click like. It helps the channel. All that good stuff that us YouTubers ask. Show support. Peace.